Go. Oh, this is lighting.
Hi, Lynn.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Tito.
Oh, hi, Dad. What's going on? Thank you, everybody, for coming on our live, for being on time. That is I have 7:30 on one of my clocks. Anyways, if y'all don't know me, my name is Kimberly RUMBAUA, and I have the lovely Lynn Corcuera here with me, all the way from Montreal. And today we're going to talk about why you should be, or actually 10 reasons why you should be building an online business right now. And during this time of the world where a lot of things have happened and out of our own control, where life has gone from people working day to day to people all working from home or working online. So basically, we're going to give you 10 top reasons that we personally feel connected to, because it's our personal journey that we want to share with you, of course. So for myself, I'll tell you a little bit about my story. I was working about 5 different jobs, some part-time, some full-time, and somehow I was able to do 20 hours a day in a job, 5 different jobs, and made it there and back, and all the jobs and all in between, working paycheck to paycheck. And I was just hustling, bustling, doing what I thought I should do and what I was able to do, making a lot of money, trading my time in for money, actually. And obviously my health has been affected by that. During the time I was in my most worst financial state of my life, paying my student loans, all my bills. I had no freedom. I was just kind of running around in circles thinking how am I ever going to get out of debt? How am I going to think about getting married or get into a relationship when I have all these bills I have to pay and interest is piling up, and it's just so crazy. So basically when I was introduced to, doing business online, it just blew my mind to and I wasn't open at first, but it just blew my mind to all the possibilities that I never thought I could, because I never really looked past my day-to-day work and my jobs that I was going to, because I really didn't have any hope, really. So it changed my life being introduced to this by a friend, and that's why we're here, to help other people and inspire other people that they can do it too, because I had no idea about doing business online. I had no experience or anything like that, and really I was able to leave all the jobs that I did not feel hi Selena, I did not feel like I was passionate about, or I didn't feel that it was paying me enough, and I was just like a zombie, basically waking up and going to these jobs just because they hired me. I was young, but I still felt okay, I don't really need to do this. I have choices. There's got to be choices out there. So this really fell into my lap as a gift from God, really. And I was just so happy. And it's been 7 years now, 7, 8, about 7 years now. Yeah. And I've been working with Lynn, and Lynn's going to introduce herself, actually. Well, I would introduce her. I've known her since I was 9 years old. We were neighbors in a complex in Winnipeg, and we grew up together. And then, somehow we both landed in Vancouver, but we never crossed paths until we were adults. And she was actually the one that introduced this to me. And I was like, how is this girl that I know making this much money online, and I don't know this? And I knew she was working a lot of jobs before, until something happened to her in her life where she had to really make some serious changes in her life. So I'll let Lynn tell her story, because it's amazing, and it's a miracle that she's even standing here today. So Lynn, if you can please
share my story.
Tell us your story. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, obviously, I wouldn't even be anywhere without you, Kim, and obviously our amazing team. And shout out to all of them here. There's so many all over the world. And yeah, my story really quickly. I never thought I would be working online either. I knew how to trade my time for money. I had a really good corporate job. I worked in the video game industry for years. And obviously it's really fun working in that industry, a lot of great benefits. But I was a hustler always. So I did real estate on the side. I had a dance company with Lorelai, and we're going to be teaching again, and DJing. So I was already used to having, multiple streams of income and just being busy all the time working, until one day I was hit by a truck crossing the street where I was at the time in Vancouver. I woke up at the hospital, I had a broken neck, 12 ribs broken. I had pelvic bone broken, and basically I found myself in a wheelchair for 6 months, and I couldn't work physically for a year. So normally I would never, had never thought that it would happen, first of all, right? And a lot of unexpected things happen, like what we're going through right now in the world. No one ever thought this was going to happen. So a friend, good friend of mine said, hey, I want to show you where you could work from home and work online. And really from then, I just never looked back. I just didn't know this whole other world existed, and it completely changed my life. And over time, obviously not right away, and with work and being coachable and following mentors that we were so blessed to have to take us by the hand and show us how to do it, I was able to replace what took me those 5 jobs, basically 5 careers. I was able to do that, you know, in a matter of months. So it gave me the option to have time freedom, and I'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your story. Like, our stories can go deep in so many directions, but obviously we only have a little bit of time with everybody, so we want to respect everyone's time. I'm going to start off with 5 reasons that I think that were, you know, important to me, and Lynn's going to do the rest of the 5, so we'll have 10 reasons. So my number 1 was actually, you don't need much to start an online business. Really, you just need your phone or your laptop, or both is awesome, and you need internet. So if you, or even like not your own internet, like before this pandemic, of course, you were able to go to like places where you can work in the office and have Wi-Fi. So it's like you can do this business or any online business really with just so little to start. And it's like there's no reason not to, because that's what's happening. This is what the future is, and this is what a lot of people are looking into, right? And that actually transitions to my second reason, which is low cost of entry. It doesn't cost as much to start online business. Then, like, it doesn't cost more than, you know, starting up a store or a restaurant or a cafe, just a you know, traditional bricks and mortar. Like, that costs hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to even maintain, to start, and to maintain it every month, and not knowing if you're going to get, you know, break even. Usually it takes about 5 years to even profit when you start a business like that. So that's why, you know, that's why we always say online business is like for everybody, really. Like, you can come in different levels, or depending on what you're doing, but there's so many options for that. And at a time that, you know, this was introduced to me, it was extra money. So my number 3 reason is, do you want to make extra money? Which extra income? $500 to $1,000 or $2,000, whatever you desire. It's really up to you. But that extra money was huge for me, because I was, for one of my loans, Lynn, was 28% off of this crazy loan I got, because it was like a crazy time. I was paying $300 off of one loan, and I had like 7 credit cards. You have no idea. Like, I was paying like thousands of dollars from my paychecks towards, you know, interest basically, and not getting ahead. So you can understand like the stress that I was like, I need extra money. I want to like have extra money for a vacation. I couldn't even really think about going on vacation, but even just to think I was able to put aside things for savings or for my future, you know, thinking about like, you know, am I going to get married or have kids, and save money for that, because that's something that was really important to me, because as a kid I didn't really have that with my parents, which is like none of their faults or anything. Like, they were working hard, and they were both working 2 or 3 jobs also, but savings was not there. And so I was thinking, I want that for my family, you know, this is what's going to happen. But, you know, when you plan your life, sometimes your life plans you, and you don't have control of that, right? And so you just gotta really think about that. So the extra money, extra income helped me so much, and it was able to, again, allow me to leave the jobs that did no more service to me. My fourth reason was tax write-offs, because I knew at an early time in my life that when you have 1 or more than 2 jobs, that business, small business or, you know, big business would give you tax write-offs for the things that you are already doing. So I have a good tax guy. I don't know if Lynn has a good tax guy, but you can message me about him. But he is like amazing. He helps me so much. I really just punch in the numbers, and he tells me exactly what I can write off. And I'm talking about everything you guys do already. So your gas, your mileage, your, you know, lease or your finance to a car, your phone bill, your rent, parts of your home, your mortgage, like my fees, my bank fees, to like my postal deliveries, my shipping, like all these things. You can write it off, and it can benefit you. And then at the end of the year, when you do your write-offs, you can either, you know, get a huge refund or whatever. I can't really claim anything like that, but let me tell you, when it's tax time, it really helps. Like, it's like extra money right there. So
Travel,
you're like, you know,
meals, entertainment.
Yeah, exactly, and gifts and a lot of things.
Internet.
So with online business, you can work as if you are a big business, which you're qualified to do that. Well, this is in Vancouver, and I know that different provinces are different, but still, Vancouver is somewhere you need tax write-offs for sure. And then my 5th one is during this time with this pandemic, like we had no, like we didn't know what was going on. And like if you had a business, a store, let's say a storefront where you're working a job, a lot of people got laid off. A lot of people are on EI now. Like, you know, the statistics to that, Lynn, like how many people in Canada are on EI now?
Over 4 million in Canada, over 22 million in the United States.
Yes. So that's huge. And like
probably
people, like people are at home working or not working because they're laid off, or you know, took a volunteer leave because they're like, they have to take care of their kids. Like all this stuff happened and we had no idea. But guess what? Like I was still able, like me and Lynn and people that are doing online, we're able to still do our business actually. And because of the business we're in, we're able to do even more stronger because people are at home. People are at home and they have their internet and all they're doing is shopping online at home, or they're actually like, you know, thinking about like just doing something with their time. Because, you know, if you have kids and you're very busy, but if you don't, like people are wanting to start, this is the time where people are like thinking of themselves and like thinking, okay, what do I want to do? I've always wanted to start business, but I don't know how. Like internet business is right in front of you and you have like really nothing else that you can do. You can't go out, you can't like, you know, start up anything right now unless it's really online, to be honest. So Lynn has the next 5 reasons that she picked, and so Lynn's gonna carry it on from there.
Awesome, thanks, Kim. So I'm gonna give you my 5, and just to kind of add to what you were just saying too, we hear a lot of influential people, like obviously multi-billionaires, you know, people in the all over the world. They're saying, not just because of the what we're going through right now, they're even saying, and quoted, and I won't say the name, you could probably Google it.
Yeah,
but
sorry,
if you don't have a
business,
oh no, it's okay. If you don't have a business on the internet, you don't have a business, especially right now. So, and as far as like you were saying about, you know, why have an online business, you know, the cost of a traditional brick and mortar business, the overhead, a lot of these online businesses, there's so many opportunities out there. They give you a free website. And if you were to make your own, think about the time it would take and think about the thousands of dollars it would cost to make your own website. A lot of these companies give you a free website already. So there's a lot of things that we'll share with you. So I'm going to go right into my top 5. Obviously, number 1 is you get to be your own boss. And what comes with that is making your own schedule. No one's going to tell you when to show up, when you could take a break, when you can go on vacation,
when to wake up.
Honestly, when I was working in the video game industry, we were project to project, and it was like, you know, sometimes we work overtime, 16-hour days, you know, and you just had to stay. So there was times where I missed cousin's wedding. I missed like so many friends, funerals, like big events, family important events, because I had to work. And if I, you know, knew what I knew now, you know, I wouldn't have missed all those once in a lifetime, you know, events. So that's basically part A of be your own boss. Part B is you get to build a dream team. How many of you guys have worked in places where you didn't vibe with everybody? You know, it's just like, you don't get to choose your coworkers. You know, it's whoever's there. So when you have your own business, you have your own boss, you can literally build your dream team. And that's what we did with like Kim and so many people on our team, friends and family. Michelle's on here, Lorelai's on here. I don't want to miss any. Tiffany, I saw your name too. You know, we get to basically handpick the people that we already love. And if you're going to do something big in this world, if you're going to go out and make a big, you know, make some big moves, wouldn't it make sense to take your close girls and friends and family along with you, right?
Yeah.
Part C is that no one can tell you what you're worth. You know, like I was used to just going up the corporate ladder, getting my education, getting my work experience, and knowing from basically my title based on my resume, that was what I was worth for that type of career path that I was taking. When you start an online business and you're your own boss, you can literally write your own paycheck and decide what you want out of this, you know, out of this world. So that's basically number 1. Number 2, if you're writing this down, is, you know, when you're online on the internet, obviously you can work remotely. You can work anywhere in the world. So, you know, I've moved, obviously I'm from Vancouver, and then I moved to Toronto, then I moved to, you know, all over Canada, Winnipeg, and Montreal, and I traveled all the time, across Canada, but I've traveled all the time. I was in the Philippines for 6 whole weeks. I was in remote islands and beaches where they didn't even always have internet, but when they did, I was still working. I was able to be on my, you know, on the beach with my laptop or with my phone and be able to do business. So working remotely is huge. That's what people want. We're living in a new kind of economy right now, especially with millennials. They call it the gig economy. People want flexibility, they want freedom, and they want to be able to work when they want, wherever they want, right? So yes, and number 3
or eight. You're number
oh sorry
8.
oh sorry oh 8, sorry, yeah,
Just
well,
because,
never
yeah,
mind.
yeah. Susan.
Yes, there's many ways, obviously, that you can find a way to make money online, but there are ways, and Kim and I obviously been doing this, like she said, for 7 years together. There's opportunities out there that will offer you an unlimited income potential. So really, sky's the limit. It's whatever you want. You know, obviously, you got to do your research, and we can help you with that. And we're going to talk about reaching out to us too. But the opportunities that we've grabbed a hold of, you know, the sky was the limit, and we've been able to do that. And we're honestly, yeah, we're 7 years in, but in so many ways, we're still learning, obviously, every day. And we have so much more, you know, to offer to this world, and we just want to add service and value to everyone we know, and that's why we're doing this live right now. Okay, so number 9 is creating passive residual income. This is my favorite. If you
Yes.
haven't heard of cash flow quadrant, many of you guys have, because it's been around for a while, but Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, wrote a book called Cash Flow Quadrant, and he talks about having leverage, right? And that's the beauty about having an online business. You can also create residual passive income. So if you hear that term, when people say, I want to have money in my sleep, you know, money coming in, when you wake up, that paycheck's there month after month. Well, that's what Kim and I have been able to do over these past few years. And when you have that money that's just coming in, guess what that does? It allowed Kim to quit one of her jobs, and eventually 2 of her jobs. It allowed me to quit my full-time day job, because it created time freedom. And when you have time freedom, I think that's what people want more than even money. There's no price you can put on your, my battery was on. So the other thing about having passive residual income, when you own a business, you're creating profits, not wages, right? Profits that go to you, and you're building what we call a willable, sellable, transferable business that you own, like a real business. So you can pass it down to your kids, your great grandkids, your great great grandkids. You're literally building a legacy. No matter how high I climb that corporate ladder, I could be the CEO. Can the CEO of a company pass that down to their child and just automatically say, here, you could be the next CEO? That's not possible. So when you have a business, you can build generational wealth. You can build a legacy that you can pass down to kids. And number 5 is going
10,
international.
last but not
10.
least.
Sorry. Last but not least.
Oh, I do want to add to that too. Like, this is the first time that I found out what like leverage is and time freedom, because when I was working like all those jobs, I didn't have time to do a business. I was like, how can I even do this? But because of the leverage and you know, you guys for helping me, I was able to make income while I wasn't there. And it was like, what? Like, it blew my mind really. And that was when I really believed in it, because I was like, okay, so I don't have to really be there and do everything. Like, it was a lot of teamwork, and it was a lot of, you know, leverage for sure, because you guys were wanting to help me like so much. And, you know, we work on like with each other, helping each other. And that's the only way that you could succeed. So it's like, it's just crazy how that I was like, okay, this is possible. And this is like what everybody's goal should be at the end of the day, because nobody wants to work every day for the rest of their life. The 40-40-40 plan, right? 40 years, 40 hours, 40 everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the last reason, go for it.
Yes, is building an international global business. When you're on the internet, interwebs, or whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? Like, you can reach the whole world. If you find a business, there's different kinds out there, but the ones that we were fortunate to get involved with, we're open up in so many different countries that Kim and I were able to expand our business in the Philippines, throughout Asia, Australia, UK, Europe, and
Africa.
locally, Africa, you know, all over the world. And we get to connect with people. We get to network and make friends, and, you know, strong friendships, business partnerships, but at the same time, friendships, and some of them brand new friendships. And there's nothing more than, you know, having that community of people that support you, that want to lift you up and see you rise and become the best version of yourself. So building a global business, you can't do that if you have a physical store. And even right now, we know people can't even have a physical store that's open unless it's an essential service. And it's so sad, unfortunately, to see a lot of businesses, small businesses, mom and pop, you know, businesses close down, you know, and we all know that's happening right now. So you can build a family business online too, you know? So yeah, that's basically our top 10. Kim, if you wanted to just share.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for coming online and sharing like your value to people. If anybody, you know, wants to hear this, or you think that they would be interested in learning these things, obviously we have way more to talk about, but there's like a limit on here and we can't get all into details. But if you are interested in learning more about what me and Lynn do, we do have Zoom calls all day tomorrow. So just message us, private message us, or just even ask us questions. We're like so open to doing that. And it's just like, we just want to help people get out of this funk of like, you know, hopelessness of not being able to work at their jobs, because there is hope. There is so many options out there. Like, the world is your oyster, and because of the internet, because of technology, you really can do so much online. You just need some help. You need some like somebody to put you on the right path, just like Lynn, Lorelai, and my sister did for myself, which I'm forever thankful. And that's why forever I will always pay it forward. And you know, this industry is like a giving industry. And so it'd be selfish for me and Lynn to to keep this away from the people that we love and know and care about when we know that they are struggling. So we're very passionate about this, as you can tell. So again, just message Lynn or myself if you have any questions, and we'll give you details on the Zoom calls tomorrow. It's like all day, so we are open, we're flexible, we're working from home, and you know, I'm like doing some other stuff in the community, which I'm so blessed to be able to do.
Yes.
And that's super something that is like in my heart, and I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have that time freedom. And and that's a huge thing for me, because I would be too busy at work, or let's say, or if the pandemic and I was working at home, like I had to work at home, then I wouldn't be able to do those things. And those are some that, just like Lynn said, those are things that you can't really replace with money. And time is like the only thing you cannot get back. Like money, you can lose and you can get back again, but you can never get back time, especially the time with the people that you love and care about. So just take that into your heart, and I hope that's something that during our call really sat with you. And yeah, we hope to hear from you soon.
And I want to give a shout out to Jojo he is the one who introduced me. Jojo Zolina, an incredible, amazing Canadian legend, choreographer, dancer, introduced me to how to have an online business. If it wasn't for him, it wouldn't have transformed our lives. So shout out to you. And I see Ida also, who is a globetrotter, amazing partner.
Yeah, and Sammy Joe. Sammy Joe, she tells you, my sister, who really was just always being awesome. And I just obviously had to support my sister in every way and anything she does. But for her to be open to that made me open to that, and to be connected with people like Lorelai and Lynn and Ida and like all the leaders that do business online. It's just, you know, it made me a better person, to be honest. And it made me really feel like anything was possible.
Yeah. And we don't want to miss anybody here. There's so many friends. And new friends too. Mark from New Jersey, you know, speaking of friendships, you know, like, so thanks for all the support for you guys listening in, and just hit
hit that DM, slide in your DM, slide in Lynn's DM.
And let's have, you know, answer any questions you have about this. We're just here to help, guys.
Yeah, we're here to be real and to be like honest and stuff. So if you have the questions, we'll answer it. And really, like, it is hard work if you want to go hard in it, but there also is, you can be part-time as well. You can do this on the side. It doesn't have to like maintain your whole life. Like, we have people with like 3 kids, 4 kids, 1 kid, single parents, like people that are all ages. And if like, you know, like if these people can do it, then anybody can do it, really. If I can do this, then anybody can really do this.
It can open up your dreams. Honestly, like, I wouldn't be able to DJ whenever I want. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be able to do it as much as I'm doing it right now if I didn't have an online business that I could do on my own schedule. I wouldn't be able to do DJing to the capacity that I am right now. So like, I owe that all to having an online business.
Yeah. And don't you feel like now that because you have this and you have more time freedom and like the extra income that comes in, that you feel like your dreams can actually turn into reality in a matter of like just a couple of years because of your belief in what you're doing and because of the results that you see? Because before when I was working, I would just felt like, okay, there's no way I can get that. There's no way I can buy that. Or there's no way I can go on that vacation. But it's like, now it's like, oh yeah, it's just a list. It's more of a list to do because I know that I will get there. It's not like, you know, I'm just like making all these like things up out of my, you know, nowhere and be like, okay, one day I'll just do that. It's like, no, one day I will do that. So it's like, everything is just so positive. I've learned so much personal development, like my personal development wise, my spiritual development, and just surrounding yourself with people that you want to be like is just so important when you're trying to do any business, but especially with online and trying to stay connected to really good, positive people. And And that is, that's it. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Lynn, so much for coming out. We'll do this again. We'll probably keep doing this weekly and stuff and try to add value in everybody's life or everybody's business if they're already in one. But just hit us up or add us and follow us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.